Hi, this is Adele, and this is my breakup makeup video. So this video is going to be in two parts, and basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be giving my 5 steps, my 5 tips to getting over a breakup, and then 5 great makeup tips for looking absolutely awesome after your breakup. So, break up with your person or get broken up with and look great while doing it. So I hope you guys. Okay, so my first step is end appropriately. What I mean by end appropriately is when you see a relationship and everyone in a relationship knows when the relationship is kind of coming to a close, and I feel like when you sense that the relationship is about to end, pull that person aside and just tell them, like, hey, I see that we're not really like getting along and we're arguing, and I really think that if that's going to be the case, then like let's just end it now before it gets like terrible and tedious. And I think having that conversation with that person is a good idea, because this world is very small, and you don't want someone going around saying all these rude, terrible things about you. And what I mean by that is people are going to say terrible things about you regardless if you end things appropriately or not. But that's a person that's been in a relationship with you, they're connected to you, and people associate your character with how they act because you once got along so well. So I think what you should try to get to, what you viewers should try to get to with your significant other, is just a level ground, so when you see them on the street, just like a simple wave, nothing serious like you're talking to them every day, but remain cordial, or get that understanding that it didn't work out, but let's just be cool. Just get cool with the person that you're leaving or that you're starting to leave. Just if you have that opportunity to have some final words before it ends, just make sure all of those words are great, supportive, nice, and there's no arguing and yelling, so you just end appropriately like adults. Number 2, take your time. Take your time. So what I mean by take your time is, if you think that you're going on your 3 days and y'all just broke up and you're like, why am I still talking about this person? Like, this person's always in my head. Take your time. You're going to need to release yourself of all of that energy. You're going to want to talk it off to your friends, and talk to your friends about it. If that means that for a straight week all you can do is just like, I can't believe it happened like that, talk about it, do it. But my thing with that is, do it with moderation. So after it happens, of course it's on your mind all the time, so just talk about it. Just don't even feel bad. Just talk about it to your friends, because they're going to be in the same situation, and you're going to have to hear them talk about the same thing over and over. And I say that this whole talking stage where you just talk about your feelings to your friends should probably last 1 to 3 weeks. And I don't think it should go over 3 weeks. It really does depend how long you're with that person, but I definitely don't think it would make sense for you to talk about someone 3+ weeks, because I think it gets kind of obsessive when it's like that. You just talk about it, just talk about how it made you feel, how it ended, like, I don't know, like, something about him still, like, should I talk to your friends about all of that? Just talk them off. No more than 3 weeks, then you're done. My 3rd step is spring cleaning. So what I mean by that is, go on your phone, find your pictures and your texts, and delete them. Go on your Instagram, delete the pictures if you want to. Sometimes I think it's a little bit extra. Delete the pictures. You see a picture on Twitter, delete that too. Just erase them from your life, socially and physically. Although this isn't really physical, but you know what I mean. Just erase the person from your life. So this tip also varies with how serious you are with this breakup. So if this is like your 3rd breakup this year, and you're kind of going to get back together, but you're really serious, but you're really not, I would recommend maybe just deleting his number and deleting a few of the pictures, but not really going on and deleting stuff on social networks, because then people keep track of your on and off relationship and it gets really messy. But if you're serious, like when I'm done with something, I'm very serious, I delete the person's number, I delete our message thread, and I have an iPhone, so when you delete the message thread and the number, there's no way that you could get the phone number again unless it's like in your recent phone calls or something. So you delete the message thread, you delete the person's number, block them. If you really need to, like if it's that serious, block them. If you've taken any cute screenshots of the messages he sends you, delete those. Delete the old messages, like I said. Delete the voicemails. Delete the pictures. Delete the Instagram posts. Delete the tweets about him. Delete everything, so he's no longer in your life at all. If you have a Mac and your phone stuff are backed up onto your Mac, go on your computer to put them in your delete folder. In your trash can, and then delete your trash can. That's what you have to do when you're that serious. You delete everything. My 4th step, get some tea, hang out with your friends, join some clubs, get some extra help in school. What I mean by that is just make yourself very big, get busy. Like, I'm in college, I'm busy all the time. The fact that I even put time aside to do this video is crazy to me. I'm doing clubs and I'm in like different activities all over campus. I'm the vice president of my dorm. I have a really large friend group. There's parties you know what I mean? There's so many things to do that just indulge in all of that. So what that I mean is just when you're sad in your room and you're thinking about how it ended or you're thinking about how much you missed that person, leave. Just leave your room, go to your friend's room, call your friends over, have everybody in your space, touching your stuff, have everyone in your area. And although the person will still be in the back of your mind, it won't be the main objective. You won't be thinking of it the entire time because you're having a conversation with people. And I think that's a really important step. Step number 4. Simply because I think in life, a lot of people are very dependent on others for happiness and for time to like, expect others to fill up their time. So when you're sad and alone and you just call your significant other like, oh, what are you doing? You know, I don't think we should be so dependent on other people for that emotion, and we should try to get that emotion in ourselves. So do things to make you happy. I mean, do things to make yourself happy, like go shopping and paint your nails and curl your hair and get new makeup, because I love new makeup, and just indulge in all of those things because you're single and you're powerful, and that's just awesome. So just indulge in all of that. That's really cool. And my 5th step is relax. So I think this relax step is not really, I don't really say it's the shortest or the longest step, but I think this is a really necessary step with everybody, what everybody should be practicing. So what I mean by relax is that I believe in the whole phenomenon of to get over somebody, get under somebody else. I like understand why someone would say that, but for me personally, I think that a lot of people are dependent, like I said, on other people for confidence and relativity and significance. I think they're really dependent on other people for significance in life. So I think a way to prove that you aren't dependent on somebody else for like status is to be by yourself for a while. So while I do think that you should get back in the game and do your thing and get your numbers later on, I think that there should be maybe a month or 2 where you're just chilling, you know, like you're getting your nails done, you're in that stage where you're just hanging out with your friends and you're doing your clubs, because the minute you get back in a relationship or you're talking to someone new, it kind of just starts the whole having to care about someone else's feelings in the same way you care about yours and putting 100 in a relationship, and that gets very tiring. And I think that, personally speaking, as a woman, I don't think that women should be so, I've seen so many women move from one relationship to the other, and I don't think women should be so dependent on men for that happiness and emotion. So I think a stage where you're just relaxing and just chilling and drinking tea and just being you is really useful just for your mind. You just feel 10 times better, and I think we should all be doing that. So I have some extra tips here, which are just some quick little things. I would recommend praying for strength. I know that sounds a little bit weird because, you know, people pray for actual meaningful things like jobs and like real life goals and personal struggles. But I think that getting over someone is kind of a personal struggle. It's different for everybody, and it's hard, you know? It's a really hard task to overcome. So I think what I've done is I've just like prayed. I'm like, come on, just please just give me the strength to focus on other things and to learn more in school and just focus on those different like other things rather than just that one person. Give yourself time. I was once in, I wouldn't even say a relationship, and a thing that took me like 6 months to get over. So a good half the time. And we didn't even really talk for that long, but I think it was because I was so emotionally like invested. It took me 6 good months to get over that person. And that involved me just not saying that person's name anymore. Each time I would think about the person, I give my little slap on the wrist. And I think that everyone, don't be so hard on yourself, you know? Everyone handles sadness differently. So don't think like, oh gosh, it's 2 months and I'm still on step 1, you know? Like, don't be so hard on yourself. Actually, the only step you should be hard on yourself on is to take your time to talk about a step number 2, because you should not be talking about one person for 2 months straight with your friends, because your friends should let you know. But don't be so hard on yourself with all of that. Smile. I read that when you smile more, I read it in some type of psychological journal, that when you smile more, you trick your mind into thinking that you're happy, and therefore you become happy. So just simply smiling, even if you don't feel like it, just in your room, smile. Just like look with everything that you have to be thankful for, you know? You just smile it off and you eventually get happier. So just smile as much as you can, you know? Be welcoming to everyone, make new friends. And my last tip is, under any circumstances, do not contact that person. Don't contact the person that you're trying to get over. I'm telling you, it is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. This actually may vary for how serious the relationship is. If it is something where you think that you guys might get back together, I would say contact that person if something serious happens, like someone dies, or God forbid, if something happened to someone significant, or if like you saw that they were sad in school, something small like that, just to show that you care for them as a person. But if it is someone that you truly need to get over and you need to just move on and there was no way that you guys are going to get back together, don't contact. If you see that his dog dies, just send happy thoughts. Don't contact that person, because people switch up. Like, people switch up every day, and one day someone is with you and the next day someone is against you, and I feel like you put yourself at risk for embarrassment. And when you put yourself out there and you're like, hey, how are you, and you call the person, they're like, fine, like, you know, they may no longer be interested in you, they might have moved on, and you're here and you look like you're just thinking about them and you're sad and you're just always wondering what they're doing, so you're just gonna call them, and it puts you at risk for looking really overly invested. So as a step, I would use that like as well. Like, don't contact that person under any circumstances. And if that person really wanted to speak to you, they would call you. And if they haven't, that should really show how much they cared about you to begin with. Those are all the tips that I have for you guys. I was kind of reserved posting this video simply because, you know, teachers are my friends, and I have teachers that follow me on social networks that will see videos, and I have aunts and uncles and parents, and I don't know, I thought that it was time to just talk about something that I feel like everyone goes through. So what's the point of trying to be a respectable young lady and not talking about the things that people battle with? I mean, this isn't the most serious issue ever, but it is serious. People go through breakups every day and they hurt. And I feel like it's good to talk about things like this, and it's good to really get all the emotions out, because it's one thing if you're just kind of handling it the way that you handle it. You know, you're not really over it, but you lie and say you are. But I feel like with these tips, I'm helping people, because you really, truly will feel better if you follow these accordingly. You will feel better. And I think that this is just very helpful for people. So maybe I'll be inspired to do another video with something that's more applying to my life right now. But I wanted to talk about something that like I'm battling with at the time, and I know other people are going through the same things as well, because we're in college, and the relationships that you had over the summer, this is the time where they start to end because you realize you were a summer fling or stuff like that. And this is the time where those things are starting to really come into effect, and people are hurt all over campus and back home. And I don't know, I thought this would help. So I hope that this made everyone feel better. If not, maybe I'll do a different video. And thank you for watching.